Hello! Today I'm going to show you how to make this look, which is the last look of my Halloween tutorials of this year. And yeah, basically I saved the most horrific one for last, the Glasgow grin. I've always thought in horror movies and everything, it's just one of the most gruesome injury things, well, more like a torture thing really, that you can create with makeup. And yeah, so I really wanted to create it. Also, I really wanted to do this with only the use of, makeup and other stuff that probably most people have lying around the house. For two reasons. One, I don't actually have scar wax yet. I still need to order that at some point in time, but I don't have it yet, so I can't use it obviously. And second, if you only want to do this look for one night of Halloween, for like a Halloween party, I wouldn't recommend wearing this trick-or-treating or basically when you're planning on being anywhere around children probably. Because you might mentally scar them, which would not be very nice, but yeah. In any case, I figured if you only want to do this look once and you're not like all into the whole face paint stuff, then it would probably be sort of useless to buy scar wax because you'd only use it once. Personally, I wouldn't buy scar wax if I'd only use it once and then not use it again for another year, because I'm not actually sure if it actually stays usable for that long. So instead I only use products that you probably have lying around the house and regular makeup. So yeah, let's get started. As you can see, this is going to be the perfect eye look for a night out. Not. Yeah, but this is going to be very simple. Only for this entire look, I'm basically only going to use 3 brushes. And one of them, the first one that I'm going to use is the Taper Blending by Sigma. You can just use any brush that looks like this one. And a very cheap and falling apart eyeshadow trio that I once bought at a budget store here in the Netherlands. I'm using a taupe color, so you can use any taupe color you happen to have. And I'm just roughly deepening up my crease. Also, I didn't apply any face base or any I didn't apply any base like foundation or concealer or anything because I really want this to look like undone and like you've been walking around like this for like a year, whatever. And yeah, so it doesn't have to look neat and like this is meant to look as makeup. It's just meant to look, or to make your eye look deeper set. I'm also going to apply this in the inner corner, basically where you normally highlight. I'm going to low light it, and then you look like this. Seriously, things falling apart. Then it's time for the next eyeshadow. I'm going to use a red eyeshadow. Again, you can use any brand you want. I'm using Peggy Sage because that happens to be my only red eyeshadow. It's actually a blush. But yeah, I'm just using the same brush and just sort of applying that around my eye. And I really want it to look irritated and basically like you've been crying. And just blotchy around it and yeah. And around the face, just basically like red, blotchy, unhealthy. And also I'm going to apply some powder on the rest of my face. So it doesn't matter if it looks slightly too dark, because it's going to be powder on top of it anyway. Not on the actual eye, but on the rest of the face. So, the nose. Just nice and blotchy. And I'm also just sketching out where I'm going to put the Glasgow grin. It doesn't have to be completely even with the other side or anything. Just try to feel where like your jaw sort of goes, like a part between your like upper teeth and lower teeth. Just try to follow that line. And I'm just blending this a little bit because this isn't going to be the blood or anything. This just has to be looking infected or irritated, something like that. That was normal English, or no, sorry. And yeah, just a little bit more, and also going to add a little bit more to this part of my face, otherwise, this part looks too healthy, like my chin. Yeah, then it looks like this, and I'm going to move on to the other palette. This is also by Peggy Sage, but again, you can just use any similar color. I'm going to use the blue one and the purple one with the same brush, and I'm going to start with the blue one, just to make bags underneath my eyes. And there was a piece of mascara. Oops. and a little bit of the purple. And using two colors is going to make it look a little bit like deeper and prevent it from looking too fake, basically. And yeah, that's it for that part. Then I'm going to use a brush, just a long brush to, long, not really long, thin, I mean, eyeliner brush by Sigma, and the palest, or not the palest, the taupe powder, this brown powder, is pretty pale for a taupe powder, I mean. But I'm gonna fill my eyebrows in with that slightly. It doesn't have to look filled in, I just want it to be visible. And in real life they're visible, but with the bright lights they're not really visible on camera, so I don't want them to look as if I actually spent time and effort on my eyebrows. But I do want them to be visible. So I'm just leaving it like this. And then I'm going to use a cake eyeliner. For this part it is important that you have either a cake eyeliner or a really good black eyeshadow that you can use with water. I'm using the cake eyeliner by Catrice and a little bit of water. Just regular tap water. And just the same eyeliner brush. And I'm using a lot of water, more than I would usually use. Because I want this to look really runny. Like so. And then I'm just dabbing it. To really make it look messy and runny and not like normal eyeliner is supposed to look. And I'm also putting it on top of my eye. If you're using it really wet, then do be careful not to get it too close to your eye, because it will drip into it and that's not very nice. Feels sort of uncomfortable. And I'm really making sure to like make the inner corner dark as well. And then it looks like this. And then I'm just going to move on to powder for a second. It's really important to apply this first, because I'm gonna apply more of it later. More of the eyeliner. And I do want it to be sort of like, you know, 3D-ish, I guess. In any case, I'm using the True Mineral Loose Powder by Hema, which is Dutch. But again, you can use any powder that you happen to have. And I'm using a large fluffy face brush. And I'm just going to put that powder on my face, obviously. And this is a really pale one. This is the, not even the palest color they have. That one is paler. It's actually my natural skin color in winter. But if I wear this, then, because it's face powder, you know, like it's a mineral powder. Covers really well, so if I actually use this in winter when I don't fake tan, then I actually look dead, basically. Which is great for Halloween, not so great for other occasions. So I barely ever use it for anything but Halloween tutorials. But for Halloween tutorials it's very nice. I sort of look like an evil clownish thing for some reason. Okay, then I'm moving back to the cake eyeliner, and I'm just going to apply a little bit more of the cake liner. It's still wet. Of the cake liner underneath my eyes, just because of the different layers, it just gives a little bit more of a old and worn effect, I guess. And I'm leaving part of it wet. It doesn't really matter because it's going to dry up matte anyways. But it will make it look sort of more random, and like it is really like dripped and dried there randomly. So yeah. And then it's time for mascara. For this part you're gonna want a sort of mascara that you can make clumpy, so not one that will look perfect anyways. So I'm using the Rimmel Scandalized Retro Glam mascara, which is actually one that I used to hate, and then I liked it, and I still like it actually. Hello, focus. Okay, that was weird. Yeah, but in any case, when treated right, it can look beautiful, but when treated roughly, it can also look really, really, really messy. And if something like this happens, then just blend it out and be like, that's supposed to, actually that's a good idea. I'm gonna apply a little bit more of that around my eyes. I'm making this up as I go. Okay, but yeah, other than that, I'm just going to really messily like slam it onto my eyelashes, because I want them to be clumpy. I want them to be stuck together, and yeah. And I'm also applying a lot of it on my lower lashes. And again, I'm really making sure to have them stick together, again as if you've been crying and they're wet. Because I imagine if someone would like cut your mouth open, it would hurt and you'd probably cry, so realistic. And yeah, then that's it for the eyes and most of the face. Okay, for the actual Glasgow grin, I'm just using a very cheap method. I'm using a cheap glue stick by Sorbo, which I bought at the budget store in the Netherlands, and a plastic knife. And I'm just using this instead of scar wax because one, I'm still planning on ordering scar wax at the end of the month. Why won't you focus on me? So annoying. Focus, thank you. Okay, yeah, I have no idea what's wrong with my camera. But I'm still planning on buying actual scar wax. However, I haven't actually gotten around to buying scar wax yet. So I don't have it yet. And I figured if you just want to do a Halloween tutorial, like only want to do this for Halloween, you're not into horror looks normally, then it's sort of be a waste to purchase scar wax just simply for one single look. I mean, I figured no one's going to buy scar wax for one single look. Don't get into my mouth, I don't want to eat you. Okay. So I decided to just use a cheap ass method. I'm not saying this is good for your skin because I'm pretty sure it's not. But it works, and yeah, don't get it wet, I guess. I'm not sure if it's resistant against rain, and I certainly don't recommend using a glue that is water resistant because you don't want to have to like rip half your face off in real life to actually get it off again. And no one wants to spend the rest of their life with glue on their face. But yeah, also this is white, obviously. And what I want to say with that is that I'm actually going to apply a lot of color on top of it. I'm actually not going to put skin color on top of it because then I would have to put foundation on it. And I don't think that'll actually work with the glue. I think that will make it fall off. So I'm just going to wait for it to dry a little bit and then apply a lot of powder on top of it. And I'm just going to make it a really fresh and bloody Glasgow grin, just like it's only just been like cut into your face. And yeah, I'm just going to apply a little bit more. I really want to make it look as if it's like, you know, really coming from the lips and not just randomly starting there. And yeah, now I'm just going to do this on my other side of my face as well and then get back to you with coloring. And then it's time to color it in. As you can see, I mean, I'm not putting any foundation over it, but it's just going to look like peeled off dying skin. That sounded so nice. Yeah, so I did make this part like wider than the other part because I don't want it to look too even, because the average psychopath probably isn't, I mean, I'm not a psychopath, so how would I know? But they're probably not going to measure it out first before cutting it, so you know, it doesn't have to look even. I mean, it probably shouldn't look even because it will look less realistic. Again, also, I didn't mention it yet, but most normal people probably figure that out for themselves. This is not a look you want to do on a child for Halloween. This is a look that you should do if you're just a weird adult, like me. I'm just using a red eyeshadow again and a fluffy brush. And just making it a little bit more red. Oops. And then I'm just using the powder brush and the Hema powder again. So powder it off a little bit. You can also do this with a smaller brush on the other side of my face. I did use a smaller brush, but then I put water on the brush and modifying powder won't work with water on top of it. But this is just going to make the glue less sticky. Or at least less sticky from the outside part, like the part that isn't touching your face. So you won't get stuck to your own face, or if you go out trick-or-treating, you won't have leaves and everything stuck to your face, because it would look funny, but it would also look sort of awkward, I guess. Yeah. Then I'm going to go use the, where did I put that? Oh, the cake eyeliner over here, again, with some water. And this is the part that's going to fuck up the brush, excuse the language. So really make sure to do this after you're done with the eyes, because after this you can't really use the brush anymore for blending and everything until you've washed it. But I'm just going to fill in the hole. You can also use liquid liner for this, or red eyeshadow, whatever you want to use. But I don't know, I've just been loving the cake outliner lately. Or for like a year already, since I bought it basically. And I'm also dragging it in, like really in the inner corner of my mouth. Don't really put it in your mouth because I'm pretty sure that wouldn't be healthy. But I really want to get it in the corner. Okay. Then while the brush is still wet, I'm just going to wipe it off. And use the red color again. And there is still going to be a little bit black on it. So it's going to create a darker shade of red. And I'm just going to make the area around the Glasgow grin a little bit more irritated or irritated looking basically. And rough and yeah, just even more unpleasant. And don't randomly stop here, really do drag it out to your lip a little bit because, you know, like, if something like this would happen, then the irritation wouldn't just randomly end right here, it would be irritated all around the area. As you can see, I did use more glue here. But, you know, don't worry, I'm gonna add fake blood later, so... Not real fake blood, actually, just lipstick and lip gloss, because again, I want to use stuff that everyone has. But yeah, at this point I'm going to put some water on the brush again, not going to do that in the direction of the camera, obviously, because I've sprayed the camera with water, which is not what I'm trying to do. Then I'm just going to mix the blue and the purple over here. And make it a little bit more, like, bruised and everything. Okay, honestly, I really didn't expect it to work. The glue, I mean. But it does, so that's nice. Okay. Then I have a feeling I have hair stuck to my face. Oh, I do have hair stuck to my face. Okay. Yeah, then that is it. That's basically it for the irritated part. Just a little bit more like so. Just really just continue until you feel like it looks irritated enough. And then it's time to add the fake blood. Then on to one of the most fun parts, the fake blood, aka lip products, because again I want to use stuff that the average woman just has lying around in her house, and basically almost everyone has a cheap red lipstick that they just bought and never used. I mean, I do. This is one by Chic. I do recommend not using your favorite lipstick for this. Because I'm going to use the same brush that I use for the cake liner, so it is going to have red on it. It is going to have red on it, yeah. So it is going to like stain the lipstick and make the color darker. And I'm just going to use that to sort of paint over the cake liner that's already on there. And just give it a little bit of a hint of redness. And it's also going to make it more shiny because it looks more like, it looks deeper and more realistic than if it's matte. And yeah. You could also use a bigger brush for this, but I prefer to have it like really be in my control where exactly the color comes. So I prefer to use a small brush for this. But if you're in a hurry, you can always use a bigger brush. And then it looks like this. Then I'm going to add some lip gloss. Yeah. As usual, it's my favorite fake blood, basically. It's an Old Essence lip gloss. The name is faded off the tag, so I have no idea what it was called. It is red, it's glittery, it's really well pigmented. The glitters don't actually show on the face, because glittery blood would be sort of weird. And I'm just going to start with dabbing that onto the wound. You can also use ketchup or tomato sauce. Actual fake blood. I don't recommend using real blood, that will be creepy. And just dabbing over it a little bit to make it a little bit more even. This feels so weird. Okay. And then I'm just also going to add it around the wound, obviously. And yeah, I'm just trying to cover a little bit more of the glue. And again, I'm just keep on dabbing it out just to make it look like it's been there for a while. Also going to add obviously to my lips, because there's gonna be blood there as well. And if there's a little bit like of the black stuff of the cake liner on there, that's only good. Because it'll make it look more grungy and dark. And then obviously it's going to be bleeding. So I'm also going to make blood run down my face. That just sounds so very weird. And yeah, so basically I'm going to add stripes. Really roughly, because again it's supposed to be blood. And just dab it out a little bit. I'm not dabbing it out too much because I don't want a entire red streak. I do want there to be like separate like parts of blood still visible. And also on top, also if you're wearing your hair loose for this look, do try to make sure not to get it in your face, because lip gloss in your face isn't all that bad, but lip gloss in your hair isn't something that's very nice, I can tell you. And yeah, just want a little bit more patchy over here, and a little bit more over here. Just going to add a little bit more stripy bullet. And yeah, that's basically okay. So this is the finished look. I hope you enjoyed watching this. If you celebrate Halloween, then have a lot of fun at Halloween. Thank you very much for watching in any case, and yeah, see you next time. Bye! Okay, I'll start with telling you what I use as a base, because that's just really easy. Basically the base was easy. In any case, yeah.